Hello, everyone. This is Pre-Algebra, Chapter 4, Lesson 7. Today we are talking about solving algebraic and numerical equations using multiplication. Okay, let's get right into it. We've been talking about in this series about undoing equations. We said that if we had an equation like 3 plus, let's go, y equals 5, we said we could do the inverse of addition to figure out what the y is. So if we do the inverse, which is the opposite, right? We could say, instead of add 3, we could say minus 3. And what we do to one side, we must also do to the other side. So we would get 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 plus y equals 5 minus 3 is 2. 0 plus y is the same thing as just saying y. Y equals 2. And then all we did was we plugged this back into the original equation to see if it worked. And so we said 3 plus whatever y equals, which in this case, we'll rewrite the equation, and then we will replace the y with a 2. Rewrite the equation again just to keep it consistent. Then we checked it. Does 3 plus 2 equal 5? Sure does. There you go. So we found out that the inverse, or the opposite, of addition was subtraction. The inverse of subtraction was addition. And today we're going to take one step further, and now we're going to do the inverse of multiplication. So let's do it. Let's say, for example, I have an equation that says some number, some variable called x divided by 3 is equal to 10. So the question is, what number divided by 3 will give you 10, right? So what we can do is we simply say, what's the inverse of the operation I see here? Well, I have division, right? The inverse, or the opposite, of division is multiplication. Therefore, instead of dividing by 3, what I should do underneath it is multiply by 3. Now, when I multiply on one side to keep balance, right, I need to multiply on the other side. So now everything is balanced again. And so now I solve it. Let's say, did anything happen to the x? No, so I just drop it. Division of 3 times 3, that cancels each other out. If you're dividing something by 3 and then you reverse it and multiply it by 3, it returns you to your original number, right? Example, 3 times 2 is 6. 6 divided by 3 returns you back to 2. That's why it's the inverse. It just reverses, it cancels out what you just did. So if that happens, the multiple, or the divided by 3 is canceled out by the multiplied by 3. And then on this side of the equations of the equal sign, we have 10 times 3. And 10 times 3 is 30. So for this problem, I'm telling you x equals 30. Now we have to prove it. And how do we prove it? Simple. You take what the x is worth, or what the variable you said is worth, and you put it into the original equation. So I have x divided by 3 equals 10. Let's replace the x with what we said it was, which is 30. So 30 divided by 3, does that equal 10? Let's go over here. 30 divided by 3. 3 goes into 3 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. Drop the 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. 3 goes into 0 no time. 0 times 3 is 0. Yep, 30 divided by 3 is 10. There you have it. So x for this answer is worth 30. And that's how you use the inverse of division, which is multiplication, to solve division problems. Let's try it again. let's say I had 9. Let's say I had 9 rooms. Or let's not say 9 rooms. Let's just say the number 9. 9 is equal to some number divided by 2. Let's wait for it to pop up here. So y 9 equals y divided by 2. If I want to figure out what this y could be, all I have to do is say, all right, if I'm dividing by 2, I need just to find the opposite of dividing by 2. What's the opposite of dividing by 2? Well, it's multiplying by 2. If I multiply by 2 on this side, I must also multiply by 2 on the other side of the equation sign. Then I solve it out. Divided by 2 and multiplied by 2, those get canceled out. Nothing happened to the y, so I just drop it. Equal sign stays where it is. Now all I have to do is solve 9 times 2. 9 times 2 is 18. So I think that my y value is worth 18 because it says y is equal to 18. Now all I have to do is prove it. How do I prove it? Well, first I rewrite the original equation. Then I use substitution to replace what I said my answer is with this y. So first we're going to rewrite the question. I'm going to replace y with 18, and I'm going to divide and see if that works. Is 9 equal to 18 divided by 2? Let's check it out. How many times can we fit 2 inside of 18? Well, I'm not going to use a long division this time. This time I'm just going to write it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. How many groups of 2 do I have? Let's do it. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 groups of 2. 2 fits into 18 9 times. Therefore, my answer is correct. The answer is y is equal to 18. So pretty simple. If you see division, all you need to do is multiplication to cancel out the number on one side. Now let's say it was written like this. Let's say it was written some number m divided by 5 is equal to 4. Well, there's 2 ways you can do this. What it's asking you is what number divided by 5 is equal to 4. That's what it's really asking you. It's saying what number divided by 5 is 4, right? Okay, so what we need to do is, first we rewrite the equation. And we notice that when I have a number over another number, I know it's division. So I could, if I wanted to, rewrite it like this. What number m divided by 5 is equal to 4? Well, now it becomes a simple issue, right? Now I see that it's just divided by 5, so on one side. So all I really need to do is multiply by 5 on this side. What I do to one side, I must do to the other. Then I go through it. Does anything happen to the m? No. The division, the divided by 5 and the multiplied by 5 cancel each other out. They negate each other. The equal sign stays where it is. Then I just do 5 times 4. What's 5 times 4? 20. So m is supposed to equal to 20. Now let's try that out. Let's prove it. All right. So I first rewrite the equation. M divided by 5. What does that equal to 4. I'm going to replace my m with 20. So I'm going to rewrite it. 20 divided by 5, does that equal 4? And I know that this could really be written as 20 divided by 5 equals 4. Let's find out. Does 20 divided by 5 equal 4? If I had 20 students and I need to put them into 5 rooms, how many students would be in each room? 5 goes into 2 no times. 5 goes into 20. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 5. There you go. The answer is m is equal to 20. The answer is not 4, ladies and gentlemen. That's just when we have to prove that m is equal to 20. All right, let's try one more like this, just to be safe. Let's try some number n divided by 5 is equal to 2. Now, the way I'm going to use it this time is I'm going to say, all right, look, what I really know is that this can be rewritten as n divided by 5 equals 2. I know that I have a division problem here. So to find out what the variable is, I need to just simply do the inverse, which is multiply. And what am I multiplying? I'm multiplying to get the n by itself, right? So I multiply by 5 on this side, and I multiply by 5 on this side. Try to solve it out. Drop the n, nothing happened to it. Divided by 5 times 5, those cancel each other out. Equal sign stays where it is. 5 times 2 is 10. So I'm saying that n is equal to 10. Now let's prove it. Okay. First, I rewrite the problem. N divided by 5 is equal to 2. My next step is to find out what I said n was, and n was worth 10. So I'm going to replace the n, or substitute, right? Substitute the n for 10. Ooh, that rhymes. So let's replace the n with 10. 10 divided by 5, what does that equal? Does that equal 2? Let's try it over here. 10 divided by 5. How many times does 5 go in 10? It does go in twice. 2 times 5 is 10. 0, okay. So this is going to turn out to be 2. So it works on both sides. 2 does equal 2. Therefore, our answer is really the number n is equal to 10. So if you're in my class, please make sure that you have written these problems down, and then you may begin on your math problem sets for today. If you have any questions, please let me know. If not, make sure that you are using the inverse operation. Remember, the inverse of addition is subtraction. The inverse of subtraction is addition. The inverse of multiplication is division. And the inverse of division is multiplication. All right, we will see you in the next video.